Hi everyone, just doing a weekly check-in for my progress in our biggest loser 2024-2025. So this week I've had a bit of a setback actually, but it was a good learning experience for me. Last week I really went hard with the training, which was great, and then pretty much trained like almost 7 days a week, but with Saturday and Sunday having a bit more of a relaxing kind of yoga on each day, which was good, but did indulge in some so this week kind of indulged in a little bit of diverged from my actual eating plan, which saw me put on weight this week. So I went from 71.4 kilos to 72.6. So what's that? 1.2 kilos I put on. I then weighed myself this morning and dropped down to 72.4. So kind of, dropped about 200 grams and then, still at a deficit of that 1 kilo, which was pretty disheartening actually, to be honest, but made me really realize that I need to be diligent in the eating plan that I'm on, and be mindful of the cheat days that I am having and what that should look like, and ensuring that it doesn't diverge from my end goal, and outside of kind of continuing to do this keto diet that works well for me. The reason it works well for me is because I do have a bit of an intolerance to gluten, so your pastas and your breads in particularly have an adverse effect on me. So I'll have cramping in the stomach, really bloating, and just obviously it just sits there, doesn't really get digested properly. I've had that, gone to a doctor and kind of been confirmed that I have the gene for celiac disease, which basically means that celiac, your body is not breaking down the nutrients it's getting from food, and the gluten that sticks, that's in all your breads, your carbs, even your processed meats, condiments, there's so much that gluten is in, sticks to kind of your intestines and doesn't allow that breakdown of one, the food, but also the distribution of the nutrients of the food that you are eating to be absorbed. So it's not a trend thing that I'm doing the keto diet for. It actually makes sense for my body and my own health concerns, I suppose, but was a really good reminder that yes, this is what happens with my body when I have too much of a gluten intake. So I find that I get like kind of little rashes come out on my arms, not so much now because I've really kind of made sure that I'm not having too many carbohydrates or gluten, but I do kind of break out in a rash as well. But good lesson to have early on as well. We're only what are we now, 25, 26 days into the challenge. This is a 12-month challenge, so getting that kind of stamina of keeping on the diet and consistency, but getting out those kind of bad habits as well early on is probably a good thing. But overall, really happy with the progress. Yes, it was a setback and it was disheartening, but there are reasons for it. I'm seeing results when I stick to the plan that I have set out for me, be it training and the intake of food as well, the types of food I'm having. I am getting the results, so that's a lesson learned. But again, when I put in the work and, you know, the consistency, I'm getting the results. So it's just being disciplined and doing that. So it's a good lesson to learn early on. Like I said, overall I'm feeling a lot better, got a lot of energy. You know, I think the 4-day a week training schedule works well for me, with maybe an additional day of kind of like a yoga session that might be a bit more gentle. And I think yoga is a really good inclusion into this regime, because, or, you know, routine, because it does stretch out my limbs. I do get you know, benefits of, you know, tension release, which has an interesting kind of emotional effect on you, which I'll talk about maybe in a separate kind of video. But, you know, I think having that in the routine is really important for me. Plus I love it. So I just think anything you do love, you're going to continuously do. So I think, yeah, you know, it's been really, really an interesting week, and I did a lot of different types of exercise last week, and then this week I returned back to my normal kind of work routine. So I'm back in the office 2 days a week. So I generally won't train on those days because I get into the office at 8:30. However, I am going to try and do a training before I go into work, at least start it once a week to see how that works. And, you know, because the wonderful side effects of exercising and starting to exercise, you want to do it more and you want to do it often. So that it's a good balance to then ensure that you're listening to your body and when it needs to rest and recover, because that's when you get the gains and you get, you know, all of that coming through. But yeah, this week I trained on Monday. I did yoga on Monday, which was great. And then today I did a cardio session at the gym. So Tuesday, Wednesday I had off. Tomorrow I'm going to be looking at doing some legs. And then Saturday and Sunday I'll be looking at you know, doing other, you know, doing arms, maybe another cardio session, or just doing back and shoulders. And then next week I'll be in Melbourne for work for the majority of that week. So I'll be staying Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So staying at a hotel, has a gym. So I'll be looking at utilising that while I'm there, and, you know, going from there. But it's been an interesting week, like I said, and I think it's good to, you know, show that it doesn't always, you know, there are setbacks that come with this journey, and it's not always, you know, kicking goals and as positive as I have been and getting the results I have been. It's good to know that if you're not consistent, then you can get setbacks. However, a kilo, you know, it is almost half of what I lost, so it is a big amount. But having said that, in the larger scheme of things, I think it's something that, you know, I can move forward from and just, you know, work harder and go from there. But yeah, so I'll check in next week and it will be from Melbourne. So we'll see you next week. Bye.